back to Film Focus, our weekly independent film review show with me, Fred Black.
Anthony Squire.
Today we're going back to our usual format of 2 films and 5 trailers. Both the very kind of middle-of-the-road films.
Both these films, they could have been so much better, especially the first one we're going to talk about.
Well, there's a tone for the show, which is setting a low bar for the show, isn't it? They could have been so much fucking better. But yes, we start with a weird little biopic of Princess Diana.
It basically focuses on the last 2 years of her life and a relationship she had with what's that doctor's name?
Hazmat Khan, isn't it? Yeah. I keep calling him Hazmat, like the biohazard suit. So I'm just like, no, that's not his name, Fred.
Just what you were saying earlier about you wanted someone in the film to go, God!
Yes, there was also that. I kind of had watched Star Trek Into Darkness quite recently. But yeah, look, it's a biopic about like the last 2-3 years of Diana's life, and God, the main problem I have with this movie, I must admit, I wasn't that thrilled going into this movie. Like, I wasn't expecting that much.
It was more of a chick flick.
Yeah.
It would have been so much better if it had been a documentary.
Or a documentary, or even like you have biopics that have been done in the past, like the one they did of Ray Charles with Jamie Foxx, and they focused on quite a lot of different periods in his life. They focused on like a wide span of about 10-20 years or something, didn't they? Diana focuses on 3 years and doesn't really focus heavily on her humanitarian work and her kind of saving children with landmine injuries and stuff. I mean, yes, they mention it, but the main focus of this film is the romantic drama, and it is the romantic drama and kind of scandal between her and Hazmat Khan. And I'm sorry, but Diana was much more than just a romantic scandal, I thought.
It's like I said, it would have been better if it had been like a documentary about all of her life, everything she achieved. You know, that would have been more interesting. You wouldn't feel like you've wasted a couple of hours.
which we did. I mean, that film was 2 hours long, like a solid 2 hours long, and
yeah, I mean, the pace of the film, it just... Alright, it was alright for the first half hour, 35 minutes, but then it just drags and drags and drags, and you just think, I don't care about this. Well, obviously,
it was all about the look of it, wasn't it? It was all about the look. You had all the different costume changes. She was in pretty much a different costume every single scene.
Nice.
It's like, and then she has the wigs that she uses to disguise herself, which was quite interesting, but again, like, I would have preferred it if, she was obviously a very kind of politically motivated woman and getting all this humanitarian effort done. I would have preferred to see a film about that and the stuff she accomplished with her life that way, acted out by a decent Naomi Watts. Was it Naomi Watts? Yeah.
Yeah,
it was, wasn't it?
She did a good job.
She did a good job, and she could having that kind of. She brought the personality through, but having it focused on the humanitarian work would have been so much more better than just a kind of mushy romantic film. Like, I don't care about that when it comes to Diana.
Why didn't you do a documentary?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure someone probably has done over the years. I mean, in the years after her death, I'm sure, there have been tons of BBC documentaries and all that sort of stuff, but we didn't get any of that. We got just this choppy romantic film. I mean, this is also the thing I had with it as well. All the scenes, they felt like they were half finished. Like,
too rushed.
Especially during like the first half of the film. Like, I always felt like you were joining a scene in the middle of it. Like someone had started filming this kind of conversation or speech or anything, and then they've taken out the beginning and the end, and you just got this little snippet of like the middle of a speech or the middle of a conversation, which didn't, and it was a bit edgy and artistic, but in the end it just got, okay, this is just a bit annoying. Can I hear one full conversation for the entirety of the movie?
Maybe that was the director's way of supposedly keeping us on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, well, he was making me sink slowly as well. It was so, I don't know, at the end of it I was just feeling like dull, and I was just ready to get out of the cinema, to be honest.
Yeah. I saw it yesterday, and to be honest, when it got to the end credits, we were all sort of looking around at each other.
Yeah, just going, okay, what did we just watch? I mean, I went to see it like a midday showing or like a 1 o'clock showing, and I think it was only about me and 9 other people in the cinema.
Yes.
And it's, for a Friday, okay, most people will be at work, so they won't have time to go to the cinema. But 10 people for like a movie released last week.
I mean, to be honest, it was similar yesterday at the cinema. Saturday, mid-afternoon. Yeah, there was only about 10, 15 of us in there.
Yeah, and I know it's getting critically panned as well. I mean, we looked at Empire and Total Film.
1 star.
1 star out of 5. And we thought, we take those things with a pinch of salt because sometimes reviews
they can be so wrong.
Yeah, the reviewers can get it horrendously wrong. But they got it spot on, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I gave it 4 out of 10. I was being generous.
You are being very generous. I gave it a 2 out of 10. It's definitely making it onto the worst film of the year.
There was
consideration list.
There was some good acting at various points in it.
Like we said,
you're a woman looking for a chick flick, then this might do. But
the thing is, there are plenty of.
Who am I trying to fool? It was Pants.
Who am I? I love this. Oh, cut the crap, Anthony. It was bollocks.
It was Pants. I was generous, giving it a 4.
Yeah, you were very generous in that. I gave it a 2. It's most likely going to make it onto my worst films of the year list.
Yeah.
I will be very surprised if I don't put it in at number 5, if not higher. But there are some strong contenders for worst film of the year so far, and I'm not sure this beats it that much. But yeah, only a 2 out of 10 for me, because as much as Diana's life was, really kind of, inspiring, and she did really great things with her life, this film picks up on none of it. It picks up on pretty much none of it.
It didn't do her justice.
Like the minefield walk she does.
Yeah, it wasn't even 5 minutes.
Yeah, it gets like a few minutes where she kind of casually strolls across the minefield, which I know is not really how it happened in her actual life, and then she has this little speech to the press, and then she moves on, and that's like, her walking across the minefield is one of the more iconic images that she's recognised for, in my eyes, and it gets like 2 minutes of screen time. It's like, really?
Yeah, then it cuts back to Diana
and then
the Doctor pining for each other, and it's just, give me a break.
A sloppy phone call. I miss you too. Like, fuck off. What about you? Fuck off. I don't care. No one really cared.
And director Oliver Hirschbiegel.
Why? It's a good name.
Next time get it right.
It's very easy for us to say. Next time, get it right, you bastard. Do something different. Actually, finish a scene for once.
People can learn from mistakes.
They can. Michael Bay doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
As if Michael Bay doesn't learn from his mistakes at all.
Transformers 4. Why? Michael Bay.
Anyway, moving on. We're getting out of there. We're going straight to our trailers. Which one do you want to talk about first, Anthony? So Diana, piece of shit, out the way. Trailers next. Frozen, yes.
Disney
nice
film.
One to start with. I like it.
Disney film, basically warm land that gets covered over in ice.
Yeah, by this woman's evil witch sister. Kind of like
this trailer gave too much away. It gave too much.
It did. There's a lot of jokes in there. It's like the trailer.
Even some of the parts of the plot's away. Like, it's.
Oh yes. Yeah. Well, it's in the trailer, so if you go watch the trailer, you'll find out anyway. It's her sister. What? It's her sister? Okay, that's fine. But
I suppose it is Disney, so
it depends how early on they reveal it in the film, though. If it's kind of one of these things, like
but you're gonna know.
You're gonna know already. I suppose
it defeats the point of when you find out the film if you already know when you go in.
Yes. Okay. But even so, like, I like Disney doing. I prefer Disney's like 2D animation stuff. Like The Princess and the Frog, I think was the last big one they did, unless I'm mistaken there. But that was really good. That was really fun. I don't like the computer animation stuff they do so much, but this actually looked quite funny. It kind of had a bit of a
back to basics.
Not just with the snow theme. It had a bit of an Ice Age feel to it, just like with the kind of silly.
Yeah,
kind of the silly jokes and humour coming around. Like with they got a snowman who makes his nose look tiny, but I'm quite excited for this film. I'm sorry, but I am. It looks quite funny.
It looks alright. I'll give it a viewing. I'll watch it when it comes out.
Well, yes, if it's if there's nothing else better on. What do you want to talk about? What should we talk about next?
You choose one.
Oh, I'm gonna give you the excited feeling here. I'm gonna talk about Big Ass Spider.
This trailer. Beautiful.
I mean, yes, it's like we've started watching quite. Well, you're a big B movie fan.
This isn't. I mean,
this isn't going to be kind of a fan of them. I mean, they have a certain appeal, I guess, because they're so bad they're good.
If they do it right, they can be so amazingly bad.
But this film apparently isn't. Like, everyone keeps saying it's not a B movie. It's not made by B movie studios. It's like. It's a film about a giant, 100-foot tall spider. Of course,
I can see where they're coming from, because if it was a proper B movie, that spider wouldn't have looked half as realistic as it did.
As realistic as a 100-foot spider can do, I guess. But yeah, I get what you mean. The special effects would have been far worse. I mean,
you've seen the strings and the plastic.
You've seen someone above there, puppet master kind of thing, going, "Now you control the spider."
The corny would have had more basic shots of everyone screaming as they're running towards the camera.
We did have that at the start, but then you've got
even that review on the computer said, it won't be as good as Sharknado.
No, well, and nothing can be as good as Sharknado.
No, it can't.
But yeah, big ass spider, really, really quite fun.
It looks like a laugh. I'm looking forward to this one. It's basic, a massive mutant spider. Helicopters, explosions.
Hunted down by a spider exterminator as well, which is just, obviously that's what.
I just hope it doesn't rely too much on bad jokes.
Well,
because I got that feeling from the trailer, and that's not how you do a B movie.
Well, they're not really going for B movie thing. I think they're going for something more like Eight-Legged Freaks. Eight-Legged Freaks kind of feel.
You have to do the sort of B-movie thing though with a film like this. You can't take it seriously.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think with Eight-Legged Freaks, it didn't take itself too seriously, did it? But it didn't quite have the B-movie feel. It was a bit it was just a little bit above it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're kind of going for. They're kind of going for that middle ground where they can be just really, really silly with their films, but the actual production values on it are actually okay.
I get the feeling when we come to review this, we'll be saying if they'd gone not for middle ground, either one extreme or the other, it would have been better.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on from that, and we got 3 more trailers. What should we go now? Your choice.
Need for Speed. Classic line in this trailer.
They
took everything from me.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. I kept one on there that we weren't meant to.
Why'd you do that?
I forgot to cross it off. That's why. Just a simple memory lapse. That's all, Anthony. Yes, Need for Speed. Assuming from the title, it's based off the popular video game series.
It's beautiful.
But obviously, like these kind of things, they won't have anything to do with the video game series at all, and it'll just be a Fast and the Furious rip-off.
Yeah, it's just an action film. Fast cars, explosions.
It's got Breaking Bad's Aaron Paul in it, so he's always good value to watch. Yeah. But I'm assuming he'll kind of just be reduced to basic one-liners and the revenge plot.
It's just that line. They took everything from me.
Oh yes, the classic revenge thriller always starts with "They took everything from me."
Yeah, it's like go figure.
Yeah, go figure. What did you expect them to do? They're the bad guys.
Exactly.
But yeah, this looks like, you've got lots of fast cars like Lamborghinis, Bugattis and Ferraris, all that sort of stuff getting blown up and doing large drifts and big stunts and all that sort of stuff. But the one thing that struck me about this trailer though was the kind of calming music.
I love that about this trailer. It's like
I did
what I had to,
and it's like oh no, but it wasn't like. You have a Fast and the Furious trailer where it's like banging techno music and like drum and bass to introduce it. This was just soothing, kind of operatic style, like cellos and strings.
It
and
reminded
stuff.
me of the Transporter films in a way.
Yes, a little bit like the Frank's character, where he always listens to classical music when he's doing a heist or something.
And that classic scene in Transporter 2 with the car, the bomb underneath the car. He drives up the ramp.
I think we mentioned that last week. I think you were intent on mentioning that last week or the week before.
Moving on.
But yeah, this. I mean, I'll probably watch it when it comes out, and it probably will be a lot of fun. But
it will be fun.
It will be fun. Anthony swears by it, people.
Yeah.
Anthony swears that this film will be a lot of fun.
I mean, I say what's the worst that can happen, but I won't.
Actually, did we get a note of the director? If it's We didn't get a note of the director, did we? Because it could be someone like Olivier Megaton, the guy from Transporter 3. And that's what
brilliant.
You'd have to give it to some kind of basic like budget person like that, because they're not going to trust like Guillermo del Toro or something like this.
There'd be creatures coming out from
activate sword mode. Yes.
So driving around the mountain like.
Oh, what's that? Is it? Was it? Oh, kaiju! The kaiju.
Is that a portal that's opened up?
Yeah. In my Lamborghini, just like, what the fuck is that?
Well, if you had Olivier Megaton doing it, the car would probably go flying through the portal, but luckily there'd be another portal that opens up.
Go flying back in to go whoop whoop. Yes, anyway, enough about... We should totally make a film like that. We make the most dumbest action film ever.
With a budget, well...
With a budget of 0.
And the next trailer?
Yeah, the next trailer. Let's go for Don Hemingway.
Oh yeah, with what's his name?
Jude Law. Yeah, my phone's going off.
Jude Law with a Cockney accent.
Yeah, Jude Law essentially playing some kind of drunk, delinquent anti-hero, kind of mob geezer who loses a big stash of money that apparently belongs to him, and starts trying to get it back from people. But yeah, it looked really kind of
it looks
a bit edgy and darkly funny. It was meant to be a dark comedy, which I know doesn't always float your boat, but
I like dark comedies, but I don't know.
But yet you did not like Pain and Gain.
It was pants. Anyway, we're not talking about Pain and Gain.
We're not. We're talking about Don Hemingway. But yeah, Jude Law seemed to be putting in quite a good performance, and it seemed to be getting quite a lot of good reviews already.
But as you said, reviews aren't always right.
Indeed, we always.
Actually, I shouldn't be slating the film. I haven't even seen it yet.
But yeah, I'm excited for this, and it's going to be. I mean, it's definitely one of the better trailers this week. We didn't really have that much of a.
I'm going to wait and see on this one.
Yeah, and the last one, alien abduction kind of horror, Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh yeah, because it starts in the 1970s.
Yeah,
and then suddenly it's today.
Yeah, it's the modern day. But yeah, it's all about kind of Uinta base in Utah. It's some kind of spring or base in Utah where alien abductions have always been rumoured to happen, and this family go down with this father trying to find his missing son who disappeared in that area.
But every night in the trailer you see a kiddie running through the kitchen.
Yeah, there's a kid running through the kitchen, there's all these strange things happening, there's like weird monsters that come out and stuff like that. It looks like another kind of Paranormal Activity style handheld horror kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just a franchise.
It's the cash cow reunion, but I'm a kind of sucker for those sorts of films. I like my horror films, and I like handheld horror films. Like I've seen like Grave Encounters and Record and The Tunnel and all these sorts of like films no one's ever heard of. So and the Dyatlov Pass incident, which came out this year, Rennie Harlin's voyage into it, which was actually quite good. I'll lend you that next week and you watch that. But yeah, I was quite excited by this, and I'm just a sucker for these types of horror films. Really,
if it had been a low budget horror, then yeah, I'd probably been really.
Well, this is the thing. It's with those sorts of films.
It's just another handheld. Oh no, there's something wrong here. It might be ghosts, it might be aliens. That's the thing
with these sorts of films, though, with the kind of handheld horror films, the budgets usually aren't that high. Definitely not as high as some of the blockbusters we see on a regular basis. Like, yeah, I can imagine, like,
it's just if you take the predictable. It's the kind of thing you'll go in there, the intro credits will start, and you'll already have worked out in your head what's going to happen.
You haven't seen the good ones then. Because trust me, you don't know what's going to fucking happen most of the time. You don't fucking know what's going to happen most of the time.
I'll wait and see.
You will wait and see, alright. But yeah, those are our trailers for the week, so we move on to the second and far better film of the week.
R.I.P.D.
R.I.P.D.
The Rest in Peace Department.
I've literally only just watched this, and then I came over to watch the film. Literally, I woke up really early and watched it, and
7 o'clock.
Yeah, I found a random torrent of it because I didn't have time to see it in the cinema, and it was a good quality one as well, which was alright. But actually, I really enjoyed this film. I gave it quite a mediocre score.
I thought it was a good film.
It was. I think it was if you're looking for like a nonsensical kind of brain dead action film, then
I think it had potential to be more, but it did do a good job of what it had. The plot is that the hero, basically, he gets killed.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, our intrepid hero.
And he joins the Rest in Peace department.
Yeah, because he has skills that the Afterlife Police Department wants, essentially.
As they do.
And he gets paired up with this old Wild West cop, or lawman as he likes to be known, Jeff Bridges.
I mean, Jeff Bridges was really good. He really put himself into this role.
Yeah, I love it when you watch a film and you can tell the actors are having a good time. Like, you can tell Kevin Bacon in First Class, X-Men First Class, he's having a good time as the bad guy.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, Riddick, like Vin Diesel's having a good time because he really puts it all into this one. And it's especially like with bad guys, sometimes like John Travolta in Broken Arrow or From Paris with Love.
Yeah.
Like, he's having a blast because he's really enjoying the role. And Jeff Bridges is the same because he's like, I'm a Wild West lawman in a modern day world. Let's have some fun with this. His accent is hilarious. I could not stop laughing at like every single line of his in the trailer and the film.
It was good, but like I said, it could have been. I think the plot could have done with a bit more.
It did kind of jump very rapidly from the grieving process of Ryan Reynolds to, oh look, the gold. Let's follow the gold. Yeah. It did jump very quickly, like in between these sorts of things, but
it set itself up nicely for some sequels.
Which I kind of hope there are, although again this film is
in a good way. Set itself up.
Which I kind of hope there are, but it's getting panned again. Like, it's getting panned across the board, which I don't think it deserved really.
No, it didn't.
I think people.
It could have been better, but at the same time, it didn't deserve to be.
Completely like slammed into the floor. Yeah, it's just it's. I wrote down in like my kind of summary of it. It's a perfect antidote to a bad week. Like, if you're looking for a good action film to kind of take your mind off a bad week.
White House Down.
Well, White House Down being one side, but it's either that, White House Down or R.I.P.D. They're good dumb action films to kind of just lose yourself in and have a laugh with.
And there's lots of laughs. Good. It moves well. It was good directing. It just needed more.
I can see where you're coming from. Like, there was just something.
Kevin Bacon, he did a good job as the bad guy, but there was a lack of. Like I said, Jeff Bridges, he really threw himself into that role. Kevin Bacon, oh look, it's just another role I've got to do.
Yeah, I see. He didn't put as much into it as he did with like First Class or anything like that. And again, Ryan Reynolds was just kind of coasting along as Ryan Reynolds, which, to be fair, he's always watchable as Ryan Reynolds, but like, when he puts that little bit more into it, he can, be really, really good.
It would have been better.
It would have been better. It might have even made it into the best films list, but it didn't. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I did as well.
Yeah, and compared to our other film this week, it's a fucking triumph.
Compared to the other film, this was a masterpiece.
This was absolutely, this was like pure filmmaking gold. I mean, you've got some ropey special effects in there, like, you've got...
That's what that adds to the beauty of it.
Yeah, I always get a little annoyed when you have, like, human special effects. Like, I had it in World War Z, the special effects look ropey. I know you haven't seen it yet, but they do look ropey, and it's all because you have to CG a person, and you can't just have a stuntman doing it. Like, Kevin Bacon at the end of the film, not to give too much away, but Kevin Bacon at the end of the film, he looks ropey, doesn't he? The whole CG effects that they put on him, it doesn't look good.
I like that sort of low budget. You can tell we're there to make cuts.
Yeah, we've paid for Jeff Bridges, Ryan Reynolds, and Kevin Bacon. Yeah. What do we have to scrimp on now?
You mean
the scripting? No. The directing? No. The special effects? Okay.
You mean we needed more money?
Yeah. Universal weren't going to pay out that much money for this film, okay?
And I think that brings us to the end of the show.
I think it does as well. I think we'll leave it at that. What next week we got, I think, Prisoners.
So Runner?
Prisoners and Runner. It's got like, so you got such stars as like Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal and Ben Affleck and Justin Timberlake.
I'm just going to keep thinking of him as Wolverine. I'll keep expecting it.
I love it. This is like meant to be, Prisoners is meant to be like a straight-laced drama about two kids who go missing. and a police, and you're gonna sit there going, Wolverine can find them.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Have a metal claws.
Give me the claw.
Yeah.
I bet there is some outtake of the film where he just went, come here, bub. It's just like running around and get after me.
Thanks for watching the show.
Thank you for watching the show, guys. Woo! We will see you next week.
Take care.
See you later. Come here, bub.